IT has it, you said?
Yeah, the young lady was just sent me a pay copy to IT.
Okay, good. Excellent. All right. I'm getting feedback from you, man. But all right, cool. We're all set over here then. I'll be upset. I'm gonna go grab lunch.
We're all good?
You're all set.
Okay.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we have video and audio.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the mics off for now.
Yes, yes, I will.
Right.
And you guys are gonna turn on the right.
Yeah, 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 thank you.
Okay, so you're good. You'll flip that on when she gets here. Just
I'm doing a quick sound check. Okay, great.
My campaign finance. It's gonna let all of us.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, it's 11. I know, it's what. See, she got them, and no one spoke to the other this morning, we promise. Right?
We're getting to be really, really good at
We're
this.
good at this.
Really good at this color coordinating thing. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As this is the last stated meeting of 2024, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the impact of the Council's work this year to make a difference in the lives of New Yorkers. We have remained laser focused on the work of the people of our city, consistently delivering results for working class New Yorkers. We advanced a legislative package to address the disparities in maternal health outcomes by increasing maternal mental health services to confront a major driver of maternal mortality. We launched a first-of-its-kind guaranteed income program for expectant mothers to improve maternal health and reduce child poverty. We reduced unnecessary regulations and fines for small businesses and updated the city's outdated commercial zoning regulations to support economic growth and opportunities for small businesses, the industrial sector, and growing industries to create and sustain jobs for New Yorkers. This council fought together with the people of our city against budget cuts to essential services, restoring funding for full library service, cultural institutions, and to chart a path forward that improves early childhood education for the city's families. Through these efforts, the CUNY Reconnect program that we launched 2 years ago hit the milestone of re-enrolling 40,000 former working-age students in college to access new opportunities for career advancement. To ensure that New Yorkers can access opportunities across our city, we expanded fair fares to reach even more low-income New Yorkers. We advanced a holistic solutions to public safety by increasing police transparency and accountability while expanding services for underserved victims of crime. This City Council established and opened our state's first trauma recovery centers that help survivors of violence access the help to recover that stops cycles of crime and trauma in communities. And over the last month, we have delivered historic solutions to make housing and our city more affordable to working-class New Yorkers. First, we passed the FAIR Act to prevent residents seeking apartments from being forced to unfairly pay fees for brokers they did not request that are serving landlords' interests. Then, we passed zoning reforms with $5 billion secured for our City for All housing plan to advance more housing, greater affordability, and infrastructure investments. This was one of the most significant advancements of housing solutions in New York City history, paving the way for 82,000 new homes over the next 15 years and billions of dollars to address housing and infrastructure issues within our communities. The accomplishments of this council throughout this year are way too numerous to list, and our body has united as a pillar of city governance that is committed to delivering results for New Yorkers. And while there is much more work ahead of us, I'm so proud of the foundation for success that we've built, the impact it will have on future generations of New Yorkers, and the continued work we've started and will build upon. As we continue to celebrate the holiday season, I hope everyone has a happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or any other holiday that you celebrate with your family and loved ones. And I wish you all a very happy New Year. Now we'll move on to our stated agenda. First, we'll vote on the following land use items. Kingsbridge Armory ESDC grant, a request for the council's support for the allocation of up to $2 million in capital funds from the Restore NY Communities program, administered by the Empire State Development Corporation to help facilitate the future renovation and adaptive reuse of the landmark Kingsbridge Armory in Councilmember Sanchez's district. Next, we will vote on the following finance items. A preconsidered resolution to appropriate new city revenues in fiscal year 2025 and implement revenue budget changes reflected in the city's November financial plan. Introduction 1090A, sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan, would authorize 9 existing business improvement districts throughout the city to increase the amount they can expend annually. Introduction 1098, sponsored by Councilmember Keith Powers, would authorize an increase in the amount the Madison Avenue Business Improvement District can expend annually. A preconsidered resolution to approve a 40-year full exemption from real property taxes for 45th Street Partners, a 4-building portfolio with 80 residential units located in Councilmember Botch's district. A preconsidered resolution to approve a 40-year full exemption from real property taxes for the Perennial, which will consist of the adaptive reuse of a former hospital building, resulting in a 145-unit affordable senior building in Councilmember Schulman's district. A preconsidered resolution to approve a 40-year partial exemption from real property taxes for 3044 Albany Crescent, a 5-story building with 36 rent-stabilized residential units located in Councilmember Sanchez's district. A preconsidered resolution to approve a 40-year full exemption from real property taxes for 73 Loisada, a Housing Development Fund Corporation, or HDFC, that comprises a multifamily building in Councilmember Rivera's district. And a preconsidered resolution to approve a 40-year partial exemption from real property taxes for Crotona 7, a project that consists of one 55-unit building in Councilmember Salamanca's district. Today, we will also vote on the following pieces of legislation. Resolution 11, sponsored by Councilmember Crystal Hudson, will call on the U.S. Congress to pass and the President to sign the National Infrastructure Bank Act of 2023. Resolution 227, sponsored by Councilmember Gail Brewer, would call on the Congress to pass and the President to sign a renewed farm bill that increases funding for life-saving food aid. A preconsidered introduction, sponsored by Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan, to co-name 109 thoroughfares and public spaces based on requests of communities and council members whose districts where they are located. Introduction 103A, sponsored by Councilmember Joanne Ariola, would require the Department of Transportation to notify affected council members 10 days prior to the removal of parking spaces that will be repurposed for street-level bicycle corral requested by a local business, a car share program, or a bike share program. Introduction 104A, also sponsored by Councilmember Ariola, would require the Department of Transportation to consult with the Fire Department before approving open street applications and certain bicycle lane projects, which is already required for major transportation projects. FDNY would also be required to confer with the affected local firehouses to ensure DOT has key information when implementing such projects. This can help ensure these projects do not impede local emergency responses. I invite Councilmember Ariola to discuss her bills.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I'm so proud to stand here today and speak about Intros 103 and 104 because they are essential for improving public safety and quality of life in New York City. Intro 104 addresses increasing FDNY and EMS response times by giving the FDNY input on the placement of open streets and bike lanes, ensuring emergency vehicles can navigate this city's roadways without delay. Intro 103 will require the DOT to notify the New York City Council representative in any area when there will be a loss of any parking. This is so that that representative can give fair notification to their community so that they're not waking up to spots just being taken. This is a notification bill, not an anti-alternative to transportation bill. And I appreciate my colleagues for recognizing it as that. As council members, we have the ability to provide prior notification for such changes. Together, these bills will create a safer, more transparent, and more livable city for all. I want to thank Connor Mealy from the Transportation and Infrastructure Council staff, our amazing Majority Whip, Sylvina Brooks Powers, and Chair of that wonderful committee, the Speaker, and all my colleagues who signed on to the bill, as well as those who will vote in favor today. Thank you so much for your trust and your support here. Public safety and notification is always a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Introduction 1111A, sponsored by Councilmember Lynn Schulman, would change the frequency with which the Campaign Finance Board recalculates contribution and expenditure limits to account for changes in the Consumer Price Index. The board would recalculate contribution and expenditure limits once every local general election instead of every 4 years to account for 2-year terms that occur every 20 years. I invite Councilmember Schulman to discuss her legislation.
I need the box.
Crystal's box.
Now I can see everybody, yay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Speaker Adams, for your leadership and support on this important legislation. As chair of the Committee on Health, I've seen firsthand how policy must evolve to meet the changing needs of our communities. That principle is no less true when it comes to how we safeguard our democratic processes. Today, I'm proud to stand here in support of Intro 1111-2024, a bill that takes a critical step toward maintaining fairness and transparency in our city's campaign finance system. By recalculating expenditure limits for candidates before every local general election, this legislation ensures that our system keeps pace with the economic realities presented by the anomaly caused by the census every 20 years. Every 20 years, when the U.S. Census occurs, council members serve two-year terms instead of the usual 4-year term. This change in the law will ensure that all candidates, regardless of their background or resources, have the ability to run competitive campaigns and effectively engage with voters. This reform underscores our commitment to making New York City a national model for democratic engagement and campaign finance integrity. I want to thank my colleagues for their partnership and dedication to advancing this bill. I want to thank GovOps Committee Chair Lincoln Ressler. I want to thank the Speaker. I'm very grateful to the Speaker for highlighting the importance of this issue. I want to thank David Seitzer in the Ledge Division, who actually worked with me very closely on this bill. I want to thank my staff. And together, we are sending a strong message that New York City values transparency, equity, and fairness in elections. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just gonna kick the box. Thank you very much, Councilmember. Introduction 532A, sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan, would expand a program established by Local Law 2 of 2016, where non-public schools can seek reimbursement from the city for costs related to employing security guards. I invite Councilmember Brannan to discuss his legislation.
Thank you, Speaker. The safety and security in our schools should always be non-negotiable, and anything we can do to make them safer is always a no-brainer for this body. Our city's non-public school security guard program has already made a real difference in ensuring that schools outside of the public school system have access to critical safety measures. Today, we're building on that success with the passage of 532A to expand and strengthen this program so that smaller schools can also take advantage of this benefit. Under the original program, only non-public schools with 300 or more students could be reimbursed for security guards. This bill would reduce that threshold to 150 students, making it possible for the smaller schools to also access this program. This is a major step forward towards keeping our kids safe, no matter what kind of school they attend, and giving parents the peace of mind that when they send their kids to school, that they can learn in peace and safety. I thank all the co-sponsors of this bill, and this is a no-brainer for us. Thank you so much.
Resolution 576, sponsored by Majority Leader Amanda Farias, would call on the New York State Legislature to introduce and pass, and the governor to sign legislation amending the tax law to authorize the City of New York to offer a tax credit for businesses to incentivize the creation of workforce development and training programs for newly arrived immigrants. Resolution 521, also sponsored by Majority Leader Farias, would call on the United States Department of Labor to expand the number of Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, authorized outreach trainers in New York City's 10 designated languages. Resolution 468, sponsored by Councilmember Crystal Hudson, would call on the New York State Legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Empire State Licensing Act, which provides all New Yorkers with access to professional, occupational, commercial, or business licenses, permits, certificates, or related registrations, regardless of an applicant's citizenship or immigration status. Resolution 522, sponsored by Councilmember Julie Menin, would call on the New York State Legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Good Jobs Guarantee Act, which would establish certain workforce training programs and increase employment opportunities for New Yorkers. And Introduction 265A, sponsored by Councilmember Rita Joseph, would require city agencies to make their best possible efforts to expedite administrative processes related to providing continuing city-administered health insurance coverage when an employee transfers from one agency to another. The bill would also require agencies to provide detailed information regarding accessing city-administered benefits when an employee begins work. I invite Councilmember Joseph to discuss her legislation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So today marks an important milestone in our ongoing effort to ensure fairness and efficiency in New York City's workforce. As someone who's deeply impacted by this when leaving the New York City public schools as an educator, transitioning over to becoming a council member, my health care was in limbo. I'm proud to highlight the significance of Intro 265, a bill that represents a crucial step forward protecting the health and livelihood of our city's employees. This legislation addresses vital issues, streamlining access to cities' administered health insurance for employees transferring between agencies. Far too long, workers and their families had faced unnecessary delays and confusion during these transitions, delays that can jeopardize their health and financial stability. Intro 265 is it's more than just improving administrative process. It's about recognizing that clear communication and expedited procedures are a lifeline for those who dedicate their careers to serving our city. By ensuring that employees have the information and support they need to maintain their health coverage without interruption, we send a very powerful message. New York City values the people who keep our city running. With the bill, we're not only improving the system, we are upholding a core principle of fairness. We are demonstrating that health and well-being of our workforce are not afterthoughts, but priorities. Our public servants deserve nothing less, and I'm proud to be part of the council that is taking action to make this a reality. Thank you to all my colleagues and all those who sponsored the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your support, and thank you for all those who worked on this bill and bringing it here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Council Member. That concludes our stated agenda, and with that, we will take on topic questions first. The bills are that good. It's good.
Please ask the questions you have a follow-up to.
Hi.
Mine's a little bit long, but it's a time of reflection, in the last state meeting. So this year, 105 New Yorkers have been killed by drivers and 8,700 were injured. Yet the council has dedicated more resources, time, and energy to bills that don't address safety and instead would make it harder for the DOT to do its job, like Intro 606, the e-bike licensing bill, which the DOT testified would not improve safety for pedestrians. Intro 103 and 104 being voted on today, that the DOT has said would make things harder for them. In addition, the council hasn't held the mayor accountable for the streets master plan failure and has let the dangerous vehicle abatement program lapse without a replacement. Plus, the time spent debating these bills and upholding this car culture goes against the climate goals of the city and the safety goals of the city. So why aren't you doing more to protect New Yorkers and to make the streets safer?
Thank you very much for your question. I beg to differ with a lot of what you've said. As far as, well, let's take the DOT and their responsibility as an agency to the people of the city of New York. What this council does in our oversight hearings is to hold the agencies accountable. We go over each piece of legislation that comes before us in a hearing, and we hold the agencies accountable to answer to the public as well as my colleagues in the council. That is what happened with the pieces of legislation that you have just noted. The legislation is still going through the process. Whether or not the DOT agrees with the legislation, however, we will come to those terms when we decide on the legislation and how we choose to move or not. When it comes to the safety of the people of the city of New York, that is of paramount importance to this body. I think that we have shown, not just with matters of transportation, but with matters of health, matters of education, and many other matters, that the safety of the people of the city are our remarkable and extraordinary privilege to uphold. We will continue to, in 2025 and beyond, when I'm no longer Speaker, to uphold those tenets to the people of the city of New York when it comes to public safety and other issues that matter to the people.
But why not push harder on street safety if, over 8,000 people are being injured per day? And you've said you would hold the mayor accountable to the streets master plan by maybe a lawsuit or a tracker, and that hasn't happened.
We continue to do that, and 2025 is another year to continue to pursue those things. We have brought up the plan, which we do have a problem with as well. We've brought that up in the past. We will continue to pursue avenues to make that happen. Hi.
Mayor's top aide surrendered to authorities for bribery today, plus all the other resignations at City Hall in recent months. What do you think that says about the mayor's administration? Are you starting to worry at all that New Yorkers aren't getting the honest government they deserve?
Thank you for the question. I think that all of this, and I've said this in the past as well, that let's just call the troubles of the administration are quite the distraction for New Yorkers. I think that it's harmful for New Yorkers to focus on things that they should not be focusing on, and that is, tragic instances that are going on in the administration. So we continue to watch the process play out. And as a council, we're going to continue to uphold what we uphold, and that, of course, is prioritizing the needs of the residents. Thank you.
You talked about the safety and welfare of New Yorkers. Councilmember talked about feeling being left in limbo with healthcare. Well, retirees that have been fighting against Medicare Advantage for the last 2 years, more than that, are in limbo. This week, DC 37 Executive Director Henry Garrido got a closed-door meeting with members of the City Council to urge them to vote to steer clear of Intro 1096, their bill to protect retiree health care. Don't the retirees deserve a public hearing on that legislation now, given the fact that, too, the top court in the state just ruled again in their favor?
Thank you for the question. Our retirees are also a priority of this council. We are watching the court proceedings and the way that the courts are working through the different cases coming through. Those court processes are not done yet. We believe that these issues should be settled at the table, and we will continue to monitor the court proceedings going forward for the retirees.
I mean, they've won 10 times in court. At this point, all of that they've gone through, don't they deserve a hearing? Don't the rest of the people of the city of New York deserve a hearing on the merits of this bill?
Like I said, we are continuing to watch the court proceedings go forward for the retirees, and we are going to continue to do our part to monitor the situation going forward.
How do you feel about Eric Adams' accusations that the media are constantly twisting his words or not reporting on what his administration is doing?
I can't speak for the mayor, so that would be a question for him. His interpretation of how he is treated by the media really has no bearing on, the feelings of this council, so I can't speak for the mayor and his feelings toward the media. Those aren't our feelings toward the media, by the way.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you.